Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Hearthstone deck spotlight. My name is Tommy Wave, and today we'll be taking a look at Kyten's Odd Deathrattle Rogue. This is obviously Odd Rogue is a deck that we've played a heap of. There's probably half a dozen videos on Odd Rogue on the channel itself, but this is got a bit of a different twist in here. Kyten's added some nice little Deathrattle synergies. We've got Devil's Oreg in here, got a Necrium Blade in here, some Carnivorous Cubes, as well as Necrium Vial. So trying to get a bit more like, I guess, powerful, not so much synergies, but powerful individual plays with like really strong 2-card combos. So we'll go through kind of some of the typical Odd Rogue cards that we see in every list: Argent Squires, Cold Bloods, Deadly Poisons, Diamols, Fireflies, South Sea Deckhands. You'll see there's missing a Deadly Poison and one of the 1-drops. So kind of a bit of a concession to having to include some different cards in there. We've still got the Hench Clan Thugs, the SI7s, Vicious Fledglings, even a Void Ripper in here. So we're missing the Dog, we're missing Blink Fox, and we don't have any like Tar Creepers. We've just got the Void Ripper. No like Blood Knights or anything like that. And then we move on to the 5-drop slot. So this is where things are really different. You know, usually when we look at that Odd Rogue curve, we're talking like, you know, 10, 12, 14 on the 1s, 10 on the 3s, maybe up to 12 on the 3s, and then, you know, 6 5-drops-ish. So definitely a lot more 5-drops in here. And here's where we get those chunky kind of 2-card combos going on. We've got the cubes. Fungalmancer is a typical Odd Rogue card. Leroy, typical Odd Rogue card. Vilespine. But then we've got the cubes, the Necrium Vials, and the Witchwood Grizzly. And to me, Witchwood Grizzly stands out as the most, the strangest card in here, because it doesn't have any Deathrattle synergies. It's not really a very typical Odd Rogue card, and the only thing I can really imagine that this is here for is either it's a very excellent tech card for the current for the current meta. This deck did make it to Legend, is a Legend deck, by the way, or it's only here to have some like cube synergies, like cube Necrium Vial synergies. So I think that's really kind of interesting, because we don't actually have that many Deathrattles in the deck. We've only got the cubes and the Devil's Oregs to go with our Necrium Blades and Necrium Vials. And Necrium Blade I think is fine on its own. We've seen that 3 mana 3/2 weapons are totally reasonable. However, it's the Necrium Vials that I'm concerned about, where if we don't have a Deathrattle minion, this card is a brick. And in a tempo kind of aggro mid-range style deck, we don't really want to have too many bricks. So my initial thoughts on this deck is we might want to bump up, you know, the Devil's Oregs, or maybe we can find some, like, cut these Witchwood Grizzlies or something and try and find some nice Deathrattles that we can include to make these kind of less bricky. However, the deck did make Legend. I believe Kyten is a very respected deck maker. So there's definitely something going on here, and hopefully we're wrong about everything, and hopefully this deck is absolutely perfect. We love it when we're wrong, because it means we're learning. But those are kind of my initial thoughts on things. So let's jump into some games, and let's hope that we're wrong. Okay, we are here up against Hunter. Now we do have 2 Squires, 2 Fireflies, 2 Deckhands, which we're fine, and 1 Diamol. So we've got 7 1-drops. 3 draws? 4 draws? I think we can go for that. We've got the coin as well. I just think we want to keep this Hench Clan Thug, especially against Hunter. Great. 2 Thugs as well, so got a pretty good draw here. We'll see how much difference the first versus second difference makes. I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh for a long time, so at my local tournament halls, I've tried a lot of games, but Magic was one I could never really get into before, but my friend did. He's been convincing me to give it another try. Yeah, I think that's a very typical, sounds like a very typical Yu-Gi-Oh experience where, you know, Magic's always there, kind of on the periphery. waiting for you. And often what happens is, you know, that as soon as a new Yu-Gi-Oh ban list gets released, get a bunch of influx of Yu-Gi-Oh players playing Magic. I actually played Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links for quite a bit. Maybe like 3 or 4 months. Was playing it pretty much every day, and I love that game. I love what they've done with Yu-Gi-Oh! Kind of as a format. Kind of like halve everything, make the games go for like 2 turns.
Here we go.
It's a pretty good curve here. We'll see what our opponent has for us. We've ducked out of the way of a flanking strike. What if they go Devils or a Play Dead?
I wonder.
What if they go Devils or Egg Play Dead?
My pack will hunt you down.
I think we'll Vile Spine that. I think that's a great tempo play.
Here we go.
Hold it.
So next turn, potentially we can set up like Necrium Blade. We could just go for a raw cube on like the Vile Spine because it's the biggest body. Magic Arena, it's done a good job of making the mechanics of Magic play in a streamlined way. And Arena helps you get into it, starts you off with the very basics. Yeah, of course. And I always said that, like, you know, people who came to Magic from playing Duels of the Planeswalkers tended to have a more solid kind of understanding of the game and the mechanics and things like that. So looks like they might be trying to set up a Rexar here. So I think we might go for Hench Clan Thug Dagger and attack in.
Oh, who goes there?
Here we go.
Hold it.
Yeah, people who come from Magic, from one of the video games, tend to have a better idea of like how turns work and how phases work. This is the flanking strike. Munch!
Well fought.
Got him! So we could have gone for like Necrium Blade, something that turn, and set up our cube for the turn after, if our opponent had some big defensive play, but got him.
None can escape my fury.
Alright,
Watch
you're against the Rogue. It's an interesting one, because if it is a mirror, Vile Spine's one of the most important cards in the matchup, I think, and we are on the coin. How does this hand get better? I think it only gets better if we say get rid of the Vicious Fledgling and pick up a Deadly Poison. But that's a 1 in a lot, and Vicious Fledgling's better than the majority of the rest of the deck. So I think we're just going to keep this hand and hope that it pans out.
None will
This is the mirror.
survive.
Geez, we've been hitting some mirrors today. I mean, obviously, I would assume it's not a true mirror. I can't imagine we'd be lucky enough to hit another person on Deathrattle Odd Rogue. I've been trying to get my tournament hole to host weekly Hearthstone tournaments
Quickly.
because I'm actually partnered with them. Ah, nice. We are really close. We just want to make sure we have the player base for it. Well, I can definitely tell you about my experiences with hosting Hearthstone tournaments. So the one thing, the biggest problem with Hearthstone tournaments, IRL Hearthstone tournaments, is one, logistics. So not every, so for instance, a game store will probably have like space, but they might not have a Wi-Fi connection that can support
Here we go.
that can support, you know, 10, 20, 50 people being on it. A net cafe will probably have Wi-Fi, I imagine, but also has like setups and things like that, but they may have less space overall, and they might not be okay with people using that for free or for a reduced fee or something like that. Like they might want a bit more out of the deal. The other thing is, if you know, if you're going to offer prizes or anything like that, then you're going to have to start charging entry, and there's not a culture of people paying entry fees in Hearthstone. Interesting. So our opponent's going to have to re-dagger next turn. So we can probably go for our own thug. I'm actually going to punch their thug. Oh, or am I? Yeah, I think we punched their thug. So this way, even if they can't like dagger, hit our face, then hit here and make us like dagger and try and hit a thug that's already bigger than ours. Best case scenario, they just like play another thug, or they play a vicious fledgling and kind of coin out our Vilespine. But yeah, there's not a culture of paying for entry fees within the Hearthstone community. And unfortunately, because Blizzard often doesn't offer like free tournament, brutal. And it's gonna grow. Yeah, I guess we just got a Vilespine this. Ah, it sucks. Because we lose our Vilespine to the dagger. Oh, maybe this Witchwood Grizzly can save us a bit. With Hearthstone tournaments, is there software to set up tournaments? Is it just you're playing and playing, challenge him and report back with your results? It's a lot of that. So places like Challenge or Battlefy and stuff, that's very much the culture, I guess. Alright, let's hope they don't have Vilespine or an Enabler. Yeah, obviously they did say that their tournament, inbuilt tournament stuff is coming, but they've delayed it. It would just be report back like our Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments, yeah. But yeah, regardless, like it requires a bit more human interaction, often, and you know, you have to rely on your players to, you know, report through the app if you're using an app, and if they don't, then you have to chase them up, and you know, that's fine when there's 8 people, but once you've got 20 people, once you've got 40 people, 50 people, someone's gonna finish their game, go to the toilet, forget to report, and you're just gonna be sitting around waiting for this person. But that's a logistical issue.
Mushroom.
Yeah. Oh. Whoa. Missed 2 damage. I think they got us though. Yeah, they got us. Given the well played, that was a fantastically played game from our opponent. Like we were saying at the start, Deadly Poison would have been the best draw. I think Deadly Poison is one of the best cards in the matchup between Deadly Poison and Vilespine. And a little bit Blink Fox. So they had him, and they got us. Okay, up against the Mage. Definitely don't want the Necroom Vial, and I think we just want to keep one of these 1-drops. Against Mage, which one do we want? I usually lean towards Firefly because Firefly helps you pad out your turns. I think I'm gonna go with it.
Hello.
Not the worst opener.
None will survive.
See what our opponent's on. Show me the turn 1 Mana Worm. Turn 1 Arcanologist.
An incredible discovery.
There she blows.
Here we go.
Someday I'll be just like you.
It's a good one. That's a interesting choice. It's a very scary
Here we go.
Job's done.
very scary thing when your opponent starts throwing arcane missiles and stuff at you very early. I mean, if it's Vaporize... Yeah, it's explosive rounds. It's always explosive rounds. My beautiful pig sons. Oh, Arcane Intellect. That's not what you want to do on turn 3, facing down the piggies. Maybe we just Void Ripper and Poison Daggers. Keep our boys fresh.
Here we go.
Hold it! Hold it!
Nice fresh boys. We can always break the Necroom Blade with our own hero power as well. It's a really interesting interaction. There we go. Da, 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 da. Okay, we're here back with Kyten's odd Deathrattle Rogue. Honestly, there's not much to say. The games we played, we really didn't do much of the Deathrattle stuff, and that kind of speaks to the fact that we haven't really fully committed to a Deathrattle strategy. There's only just a couple of little synergies. We did draw Necroom Blade quite a lot, and there were a lot of situations where we could have set up a Necroom Blade for a Carnivorous Cube, but the game was just over. There are a couple of things that I'd like to change around. I think getting the second Deadly Poison in the deck would be really important. But for now, I think it's just a matter of getting some more games in and seeing how that Deathrattle package goes. So if you've played this deck, if you do play this deck, please let me know how it goes for you. Because I'm very interested in knowing if the Necroom Vials and if all that stuff is worth it. So definitely hit me up in the YouTube comments if you know what's good. If you are watching this video on YouTube, all the links are down in the description as well, including a link over to the Hearthstone article. So jump over there, give Kyten a lovely +1, and leave in a lovely thoughtful comment, as I know you will. And until next time, stay safe, stay wavy. I'll see you soon. Bye. I hope you enjoyed that video. Check out other ones over here, or come subscribe to the Wave Pool for more excellent times.